self-defense, dead. And that little girl never got the opportunity to do that. She quietly died mentally because she couldn't take it any longer, and there weren't enough responsible people to prevent such a situation from happening. So don't anybody ever let anybody tell you that you're not going to hit anybody out of self-defense. I don't care if you're an older person, whether you're in your 20s fighting against somebody. Self-defense, to me, is something that you definitely stand up for. But when you're a young child, and I mean a young child taking such abuse like that, the heck with that. You know, what if a child kills somebody older than them out of self-defense? Do you put them in jail? You know what? I guess that's for the courts to decide. I get it. But we don't have to talk about that in this instance because you had a young girl here where it was physically evident that there was a problem and nobody stepped up to the plate, and she was too innocent to be able to do that. This is tough to watch. But the one thing...
This was tough to watch. This was tough to listen to. And, Scott, before you continue, I want to give a message right now to anybody who may be listening to this, whether they're a child, an adult, or anything, because this was a video that was about child abuse. And I also want to give a kudos to Martina McBride and the producers of the video for also putting the National Abuse Awareness phone line at the end of the video. I want to give them a kudos for that as well, because that's instantly, hey, listen, there are people there who are helping you, who will help you get away from these situations.
Right.
And yes, this video was about child abuse, but abuse in general, it's wrong. Whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, you know, if you're in a situation and you're going through something like that, I don't just want to tell you to encourage you to defend yourself. But after you've done that, open your mouth and tell somebody about what it is that you were going through. Whether you believe you can trust that person or not. Do not be afraid to let people know about your situation.
Right.
There are people out there who will help you. There are people out there who you can lean on. There are people out there who will help get you out of situations so that you don't end up being like that little girl.
Right.
Dead.
Yeah, I agree. And you don't want them to be dead, but I'll go back to what I've said before, and I wish the death penalty existed in all 50 states, because I believe that if you take a life, you deserve to have yours taken as well. Period. So, you know, to me, we have to bring these things up. We're in an industry that we can reach a lot of people. And I agree with you, Xavier, 100%, okay? Martina McBride deserves an awful lot of kudos for being able to put together such a bold message. And you can only hope that that message, as visual and difficult as it was to watch, probably has saved lives. But, you know, and you know what, Xavier and everybody out there, I'll continue to watch it. I will. Because you know what? It's something that if I ever get the itch to talk about it again, or ever I decide to do any public speaking or whatever, this is just a distinct reality that if a child is misbehaving, there's other ways to punish this child except with violence. Take away their allowance, take away privileges, but don't take away their life.
And it's not only that, Scott, but the word that you use, their reality. That's one of the main reasons I'm giving her the kudos for this, too. Because despite those other two songs that I mentioned, especially Kirk Franklin's Lean on Me, and many other songs that are out there that show these instances, but they end in a beautiful story. Almost fairy tale like. Everything has a happy ending. Martina McBride gave you the reality. Sometimes things do not end in a happy ending. And that little girl's story did not end in a happy ending. Despite how they tried to end that video with the little boy just feeling like, basically, well, I have the memories. And this isn't on the little boy in the video at all.
Right.
This isn't on him at all. Because if he knew what he could do about the situation, or had there had been a time where they had been able to actually have more time to spend with each other, and she would actually open up more. I wholeheartedly believe that little boy would have lived by the message and lean on me, and I am here. You don't have to worry. I can see your tears. Here's my shoulder. You can lean on me.
Right.
I wholeheartedly believe he would have lived by that message, and he would have done everything by his friend to get her some help. But shame on the adults throughout that video who did not do what they were supposed to do. And, not only saving lives here, Scott, because, of course, that's the most important thing here, too. But what I also hope that this song did is I hope it showed a lot of people that when you notice something that is happening that should not be taking place, open up your mouth and ask questions and go and report these things to people as well.
I want to talk about something that you mentioned probably earlier about whether people liked the video or they disliked it. Who cares whether you disliked it? Who absolutely cares that you disliked it? Why? Because of the reality of a problem that an artist is trying to bring out in the forefront, that you just can't handle the truth about what really goes on? Really? Really? Maybe you don't like the content or the context, but you can't hide away from it. These things happen. Yeah, I like it just because it paints a picture in reality, Xavier, okay, about how things are on a daily basis, and so many people don't even bring it to the forefront. So whether you like it or you don't, you download it, you don't, it still sends a message, and it sends a realistic message that this happens and that we have to find preventative ways to make sure it doesn't happen any more than necessary. Anything else you want to do to button it up?
No, because I wholeheartedly agree with you on that, too. This is not a case of likes or dislikes, and, like you said, who cares about that stuff? This song sends a very powerful message. And like I said, I would encourage anyone to go out there and listen to Martina McBride's Concrete Angel, listen to the song, watch the video. If your emotions can easily be disturbed, I'll say it once again, have a box of tissues right there by you. It is what it is. Because, it is one of those type of instances. And there's nothing wrong with shedding tears or showing any emotion about these things. Because even though it's a plot that's being done throughout the music video, it's real life as well. Right. Even though the people who are the characters throughout this video, they're still here as far as we know. This is stuff that is happening to people every single day. And it can even be people that we actually know.
Oh, yeah.
So, this song was very powerful. It was a message. And like I've said before, not only do I hope that this song has saved many other lives, I hope that this song has also shown others who have a voice and know how to recognize when something isn't to go wrong, is not going correctly, to speak up and to use your voice and to be a difference, and to save someone or save a group of people from a certain situation so that they do not end up suffering the ultimate fate of death because you didn't open up your mouth.
Yeah, that's true. These things have to be brought to the forefront. And, and I don't care how many times you watch it. People may watch local news and they hear all kinds of stuff too. I don't watch the local news very much, only because of the fact that, I know what's on there and I have other choices, but every now and then I'll poke in once in a while to do it. But to me, this isn't local news. This is a national crisis that we have to deal with.
Yes.
This is national. It could be happening right around us. And anytime you see a child out there, you give them a hug and you try to talk to them. It's called the circle of life, isn't it, folks? A child. I've never had any, but you know what? At time, and I'm too old to ever do it. But to me, it doesn't mean that you don't have feelings for these individuals, because once upon a time we were all one, and we all had to.
Yes.
We all had to deal with certain forms of discipline, Some of us had to deal with it more physically. Some of us have not. But in the end, this did not need to happen. And all I can say in closing here is Martina McBride, who knows if you'll ever listen to this broadcast. And maybe you will, maybe you won't. We'll certainly share it as much as we can. But I'll tell you what, Martina McBride, I love all of your songs. You're one fine artist. You really are, and I certainly enjoy the many that you have. She has another one out there, I think, called Be My Valentine as well. But the one that resonates with me right now is this one, because she's attacking a social issue that needs to be where there needs to be a lot more awareness to it. So, any closing thoughts, Xavier?
I want to just close out by saying to Martina McBride as well, I don't know if you'll ever listen to this broadcast, but you definitely have a new fan in me. I'll be listening to more of your music from this point going forward, and thank you for bringing a very serious issue to the light, no matter how difficult it may have possibly been for you to even put this together. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I'll reiterate, Martina McBride, God love you. Appreciate what you've done, and I'll continue to listen to your music as well. And thanks for bringing this problem to the forefront. So on behalf of Xavier McKnight, my name is Scott Morganroth, the Motor City Madmouth. I don't know whether I feel like a madmouth because I'm ballistically crazy or just mad about the whole situation. This problem is real, but unfortunately in this particular situation, it is not rare. It's all too common, and I wish it was a rare problem because it's anything but. So, and for any of you folks that want to reach out to us, feel free to do so. You can find us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so forth. So, meanwhile, everybody, you have yourself a great night, and thanks for letting us be a part of your night. So, Xavier, thanks for doing this. I think the one thing that we love about our show is we're not afraid to tackle any issues, are we, buddy?
No. And
tonight was living proof of that. So God bless everybody. You're listening to the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network, here for the real and the rare with Scott Morganroth and Xavier McKnight. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.